the steps, because if you do the steps wrong, you cannot make the entire movement. If the steps are wrong, you go shorter, and so the most important thing is that the left foot stands directly next to the ball. If it's here, I only have this far to get the ball into the circle. So I'll leave this here. This is how far we go when I put the foot here, okay? And when I put the foot next to the ball, then I can get it all the way here. Okay?
So that's more than a yard.
Okay?
So that means that in his steps, his last step before taking the ball should be that the left foot is here, so he can move straight away through, right? When it's too far, it's also difficult, right? But then still you can put power. But then of course you cannot get the full width of the action. So then, Dieter, how many steps you make before you reach the ball?
I take 3.
So he takes 3, some players take 2.
Some players...
I didn't know.
Some players use 2 steps. That's the easiest. Okay, the easiest is to take 2 steps. 1 step straight towards the ball, the other step next to the ball. Okay, that's 2. Okay, but what the most drag flickers for at the high level do, they take 3 steps. Why? Because then I can get 1 small step with my left foot, and if the ball is pushed out too far to that side, I can make 1 step here and then make the 2 steps. Okay, so it's a correction step. Okay, so that's why we take 3 steps. So it's 1 small with the left and 2 towards the ball, 3 next to the ball.
Okay. Realize also for I would say dry swimming, but learning people to make the drag flick, that they also learn the steps. So you use the cone to make sure it's always the same rhythm, right? And Dieter is using the steps in the direction first, and he's not standing sideways. Some players stay sideways, so they are more or less like me now in the open position. They make 1 step, then they cross back, they take over, and then they go. But this is a very interesting point of discussion, because with Toon Sigmund you are training to get it exactly square. So it's in line, more or less, with the line of the circle, the line of the D.
When we've done the steps, after this step, we have a cross behind the foot. Okay, it's really important that this step is as big as possible. Yeah, that's why you're already low. Because if you're low, the step can be far. And if you're up high, the step can be really close to your own foot, okay? So when you get low, this is the same thing as I said with the foot here. If my step is small, my position of the ball into the circle is smaller than when this step is big, okay?
When you go and stay, so I can show that. Yeah, stop. You see now, the ankle is slightly bent. So he must be strong, otherwise he can disrupt that one. And the moment of turning in the action is very short time, because he immediately moves through. Yeah? Okay, that about the steps. Now about the stick.
Okay. The stick stays normal on the ground the entire way with the steps, okay? So really simple with the steps, the stick is still up here, okay? The moment we step behind our foot is the moment that we bring the ball with us, okay? So in this point, you see there, that's where I pick up the ball. When I step out with my left foot, that's the moment that I will bring my left hand towards the ground, okay? Because when I travel the ball straight into the circle and I bring my left hand down, that's the moment when the ball rolls up my stick. Look. You see that? Yeah. That if I don't put the left hand down, the ball will stay on the same place on the stick. If I push the left hand down, the ball will roll up. Okay?
Yeah, you have the line?
Yes.
So one more time? Yeah, so the movement of the ball is by the movement of the left arm. Now we take 5 slow penalty corners, 5 slow flicks, because the slippery surface, if Dieter is putting full pressure, then he will slip away every time because there is not enough grip on the bottom. Yes. Are you ready?
There's one thing that we forgot to say, okay? That's at the end. We call it
The follow through?
no, we call it the pull push motion, okay?
Oh, yeah.
So what we do is when we have the ball here and you just go like that, the ball won't pick up any speed. So what you want to do at the end is you want to push with your left hand and pull with your right hand. You see that like this? Yeah? And when you have the force, when you feel, okay, now there's force on my stick, you do it the other way around.
And then you propel.
You push on your left hand and you pull on your right hand. Okay? Like this.
5 times. You see, when he puts power, he's also losing control about the speed. And that's because of the surface. Well done, goalie. So now, in the next phase, because we run through quickly, we run through quickly. As a coach with a player like him, we discussed many times how to improve. He has the personal coach with Toon Sitman and also at his club. But normally now the first things are relaxed. He is going himself, he is going the way. But of course in the game there is pressure from the push-out player. So to put a little bit pressure on here, me as a coach is saying to him, yes. So now he is ready, he is focusing, and I say, yes. And there we go. So now there is already a little bit stress on him, because not only concentrating on the ball, also concentrating on the signal. Yes. Oh. Well done. And the good thing of this is that I can put the ball exactly on the same spot every time. Yes. Yes. And now we go again a little step further. Because in the process of learning, and Dieter and myself, we do it for the first time together. If we would be in the club side, we would have made a system ourselves together, which is good for him. But now I am ready like this, as if the player is going to play. And he knows this player is coming down. So the press is not only now of the man talking, but also having the ball and the stick here. So now we are ready. Yes! So we come more close to the game situation. Yes! Safe. Well done.
Moeilijke plek om een bal te stoppen.
Ja, hè? Yes! So now you see he is faster than me. So he is willing. That's good. Okay, one more thing that is very important for the drag flicker is to stay low. Roland, Toon and myself, we practice with this exercise a little bit like this. But I have to be careful now because the slippery surface. When I keep my stick like this is about the altitude, he has to be low to maximally propel the ball. We try. You see? It was a little bit high, but he can improve the speed, I can tell you. Because he doesn't want to touch the stick. Nobody wants to run against a stick, of course. So there we go. You see, in the first time, he is just looking, oh, where is that stick? But he should concentrate fully on the ball. Yeah, okay, so it's just